There are elderly people who believe that getting sick after the age of 60 is normal. That feeling constantly tired, catching the flu every month, and having recurring infections are just part of aging. But what if I told you that this could actually be a sign of a silent nutrient deficiency that no one ever explained to you? The truth is harsh, but liberating. Your immunity doesn't have to plummet just because the years have gone by. This is not aging, it's neglect disguised as destiny. As a geriatric doctor, I've seen elderly patients be reborn with small changes. And one of them, which almost no one takes seriously, is proper supplementation. It's not about pushing just any vitamin. It's about understanding what the body truly needs at this stage. Most seniors are taking the wrong supplements, in the wrong amounts, at the wrong time. And yes, that comes at a high cost, in time, in health, and in quality of life. In this video, you're going to discover the 8 most effective vitamins and nutrients to strengthen your immunity, regain your energy, and shield your body from common illnesses in old age. And the best part, they are accessible, natural solutions backed by science. Get ready to learn what few doctors explain clearly and what can transform your upcoming years. Are you ready to turn the tide? After the age of 60, the body begins to slow down its natural production of various vital substances, and one of the most affected is vitamin D3. This vitamin is not just from the sun, as many think. It's like a key that unlocks immunity, regulates hormones, and strengthens bones. The problem is that even living in a sunny country, most elderly people are deficient. That's because the body no longer absorbs and synthesizes like it used to. A simple blood test can reveal low levels, even with frequent sun exposure. And without it, the immune system loses one of its most powerful weapons. It's like trying to defend a castle with the gates wide open. But there's a secret that many people ignore. Vitamin D3 alone doesn't complete the job. That's where K2 comes in, an almost unknown ally that acts as a traffic guide for calcium. While D3 increases calcium absorption, K2 directs that calcium to the bones and teeth, preventing it from building up in the arteries. In other words, they work as a team. One increases the intake and the other commands the destination. Without this duo, the risk of osteoporosis, fractures, and even clogged arteries rises significantly. And this isn't some alternative theory, it's pure medical science. Imagine an elderly person taking calcium and vitamin D supplements but deficient in K2. That extra calcium might end up in the arteries, causing dangerous calcifications. It's like pouring cement into a water pipe. Eventually, it clogs. That's why more up-to-date geriatric doctors already recommend combining these 2 vitamins as a standard protocol for seniors. It means more heart safety, stronger bones, and better immunity against infections. All in one smart combination. If someone takes only D3, they might feel a slight improvement in mood or energy, but the truly robust results, the ones felt in daily life, come with D3 paired with K2. This synergy activates immune system genes, improves the response against viruses and bacteria, and regulates silent chronic inflammation, the kind the body doesn't even notice but slowly drains vitality. It's like releasing the handbrake on your immune system. Elderly people report fewer respiratory infections, more energy, and better overall well-being. In practice, the ideal is to look for supplements that already include both, with at least 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 and 90 to 120 micrograms of vitamin K2 in the -7 Malawian Kwacha's form. This form is the most bioavailable and stays active in the body longer. Reliable brands like Now Foods, Life Extension, or Essential Nutrition usually offer this complete formula. But it's always good to consult a geriatric doctor before starting any supplementation, especially if there's a history of heart disease or the use of blood thinners. Another powerful nutrient that often goes unnoticed is vitamin B12. It is essential for brain function, red blood cell production, and energy metabolism. But here's the problem. After age 60, the stomach produces less hydrochloric acid, which is crucial for absorbing this vitamin. The result? Even eating well, many seniors have a silent deficiency and don't realize it. They just feel more tired, forgetful, discouraged, and blame it on age. Studies show that B12 deficiency is one of the most underdiagnosed causes of fatigue and mental confusion in seniors. And worse, this deficiency, when prolonged, can cause irreversible neurological damage. That's why many geriatric doctors already recommend preventive supplementation, especially for those who follow vegetarian diets, use antacids, or have digestive problems. A simple tablet a day can prevent a silent and disabling decline. And here's an important detail. Sublingual supplements, which dissolve under the tongue, are often more effective than capsules that go through the stomach. That's because absorption happens directly into the bloodstream, bypassing the digestive barrier. Look for methylcobalamin versions, which are more bioactive and better utilized by the body. Some trusted brands include Jarrow Formulas, Solgar, and Nature's Bounty. Now, let's talk about zinc. This mineral is one of the pillars of immunity, especially antiviral immunity. It acts directly in the maturation of defense cells and in blocking the replication of viruses inside the body. When deficient, the immune system becomes slower, less efficient, and the body becomes more susceptible to infections, especially colds, flu, and pneumonia. The problem is that aging naturally reduces zinc absorption, and the diet often doesn't compensate. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that zinc supplementation in elderly individuals significantly reduced the duration and severity of respiratory infections. And the doses don't need to be high. 15 to 30 milligrams per day is already enough to restore optimal levels in most people. But attention, excessive intake can cause imbalances in other minerals, like copper. That's why proper balance is important. Speaking of balance, another ally often overlooked is magnesium. This mineral is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, including the regulation of stress, sleep quality, and muscle relaxation. But what many don't know is that magnesium also plays a key role in immunity. It helps modulate inflammation, activate vitamin D, and support the health of white blood cells. The problem is that modern diets are low in magnesium. Ultra-processed foods, the low consumption of leafy greens, and even the quality of the soil contribute to this deficiency. In the elderly, symptoms may include cramps, insomnia, anxiety, and weakened immunity. That's why many geriatricians already include magnesium citrate or glycinate in their patients' protocols, forms that are better absorbed and less likely to cause diarrhea. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of most people. But don't stop now, we still have 3 vital nutrients to explore. And one of them could make all the difference in your daily energy and immune protection. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal how to naturally reinforce your immune shield and feel more vitality every day. Get ready, because the best is yet to come. Let's now talk about vitamin A. Often remembered for its role in vision, vitamin A also plays a crucial role in immune defense, especially in the integrity of the skin and mucous membranes, which act as physical barriers against pathogens. It also stimulates the production and function of white blood cells that identify and eliminate invaders. In the elderly, deficiency can be subtle but dangerous: dry eyes, increased infections, and slower wound healing. Foods rich in vitamin A include liver, eggs, carrots, sweet potatoes, and dark green vegetables like spinach. However, the conversion of plant-based beta-carotene into active vitamin A can be inefficient in some people, especially in older adults. That's why in some cases, a supplement with retinol palmitate or retinol acetate may be considered. But caution, excessive intake can be toxic. Never exceed the daily dose without medical supervision. Now let's address a true guardian of immunity that is often underestimated: probiotics. These are beneficial bacteria that live in your intestine and directly influence your immune system. About 70% of immune cells reside in the gut, and when the intestinal flora is balanced, your entire defense system functions better. Probiotics help produce antimicrobial substances, block the entry of pathogens, and even reduce inflammation. But after age 60, the microbiota changes, and not for the better. The diversity of good bacteria decreases, while harmful ones increase. This imbalance weakens the immune response and increases the risk of diseases. That's why many geriatric doctors are recommending the regular use of probiotics, either through supplements or fermented foods like kefir, natural yogurt, or sauerkraut. Look for strains like Lactobacillus rhamnosus, Bifidobacterium lactis, and Lactobacillus acidophilus for better results. And finally, let's talk about one of the most powerful and underestimated natural protectors: elderberry extract, Sambucus nigra. Used for centuries in traditional medicine, this extract is now being studied by science for its effects on respiratory viruses. Elderberry helps block virus entry into cells, reduces the duration of flu symptoms, and strengthens the body's defenses. It's a potent, natural ally and can be found in syrups or capsules. A randomized study published in the Journal of International Medical Research showed that people who took elderberry extract had relief from flu symptoms up to 4 days earlier than those who didn't. And in elderly individuals, this means fewer complications, less medication use, and faster recovery. That's why it's increasingly common to find this extract in geriatric supplement protocols, especially during colder months. To wrap up, your immunity is not destined to weaken with age. What's often lacking is information and the right nutrients. With the correct supplementation, approved by a qualified professional, it's possible to strengthen your defenses, feel more energy, and age with vitality and autonomy. Remember, it's not just about adding years to your life, it's about adding quality to your years. Now it's up to you. Don't let these tips be just information, turn them into action. Talk to your doctor, evaluate your needs, and take the first step today. Your health is your greatest asset, and taking care of it is the most valuable investment you can make. If this content helped you, don't forget to like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next health and longevity tips for those over 60. Another little discussed benefit of vitamin A is its action against intestinal infections. Yes, it also acts on the digestive system, strengthening the intestinal walls and helping to maintain a balanced gut flora. And since the intestine is considered the second brain and a central part of immunity, this function becomes even more relevant. In elderly individuals with frequent episodes of diarrhea or malabsorption, vitamin A can make all the difference. Those who have suffered from skin infections, bronchitis, or repeated colds may find a great ally in vitamin A. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that elderly individuals with adequate levels of vitamin A have a lower hospitalization rate due to respiratory infections. And this, let's face it, is a huge victory, especially when we talk about a group more vulnerable to simple complications. Now that you understand the silent power of vitamin A, it's time to discover another nutrient that is also overlooked but plays a decisive role in the health of white and red blood cells. It's not a vitamin, but when it's lacking, the whole body goes into a tailspin. If there's one nutrient that acts as a true spark inside the body, that nutrient is iron. Without it, the body simply cannot produce hemoglobin, and without hemoglobin, oxygen doesn't reach the organs properly. The result is a constant feeling of fatigue, weakness, lack of motivation, and even mental confusion. In the elderly, iron deficiency is even more dangerous, as it often goes unnoticed until it leads to anemia and weakened immunity. Iron is also vital for the immune system to function properly. It is responsible for the multiplication of defense cells, especially white blood cells, which fight infections. When iron is lacking, the immune response becomes slow, and the body takes much longer to react to a simple cold or a cut on the finger. It's as if the body's army has tired soldiers without ammunition, vulnerable and defenseless. As the years go by, iron absorption tends to decrease, especially in people with gastric problems, use of antacids, or a diet low in red meat. Additionally, some elderly individuals take medications that further hinder this absorption. Therefore, it's not enough to just eat iron-rich foods. You need to ensure it is actually being absorbed by the body. And this is where supplementation plays a strategic role. A good practical example is to combine iron-rich foods with sources of vitamin C, such as orange, acerola, or kiwi, to enhance absorption. Avoiding coffee or black tea right after meals also helps, as these beverages contain tannins that interfere with iron fixation. These are simple changes that can make a huge difference in the daily life of an elderly person. After all, no one wants to rely on medications when they could simply be well-nourished. When deficiency is detected, supplementation can be done with iron compounds such as ferrous sulfate, iron bisglycinate, or chelated iron. The choice depends on individual tolerance, as some types can cause gastrointestinal discomfort. A geriatric doctor will know how to indicate the best option and monitor progress with exams. And most importantly, one should never take iron on their own. Excess can also be harmful. It's curious to note that many elderly people report an almost immediate improvement in energy and mental clarity after starting iron supplementation. That fog in their thoughts disappears, energy returns, and even mood improves. That's because the brain, heart, and muscles start receiving oxygen more efficiently. And with more oxygen, the body literally breathes relief and vitality. Iron in this context is life running through the veins. Another highlight, iron also contributes to the body's thermoregulation. In other words, it helps maintain a stable body temperature. This explains why many elderly individuals with anemia often have cold hands or complain of chills even on mild days. When iron becomes part of the routine, this type of symptom starts to disappear and the body finds a new internal balance. Zinc is that type of nutrient that almost no one talks about, but whose absence causes silent damage in the body. Especially after age 60, this mineral becomes essential to keep the immune system active and alert. It is responsible for activating defense cells and helping with wound healing, something crucial for those with thinner and more vulnerable skin at this stage of life. Additionally, zinc is a kind of cellular supervisor. It ensures that everything functions at the right pace, without failures. Studies show that low zinc levels are linked to a higher risk of colds, flu, and persistent infections. In the elderly, this is even more serious, as the body already has a reduced ability to defend itself. The good news? Zinc supplementation has shown very positive results, especially when combined with vitamin C. Together, they form a true shield against opportunistic diseases. Zinc acts fast and delivers results. This is not a guess, it's proven science. Beyond immunity, zinc also influences taste, smell, and even appetite. Many elderly people who start to feel that everything tastes like cardboard, or who lose the pleasure of eating, may simply be deficient in this mineral. A simple supplementation can bring back the joy of eating, which also helps with healthy weight gain and maintaining muscle strength. And with more appetite comes more energy, a positive chain reaction. Zinc also has an antioxidant effect. It fights free radicals that age cells and leave the body vulnerable to degenerative diseases. This means that, in addition to strengthening immunity, it helps preserve the youth of the cells. And who doesn't want to age with more vitality, fewer wrinkles, and better mental health? Zinc is like an internal polisher that keeps everything clean, sharp, and functioning precisely. In food, zinc can be found in lean red meats, chicken, eggs, cashew nuts, pumpkin seeds, and legumes like chickpeas and beans. But it's important to remember that, with age, absorption decreases, and so, even when eating well, the body might not be absorbing enough. Hence the importance of getting tests done and, if necessary, using supplements. Doses between 15 milligrams and 30 milligrams per day are common, but medical guidance is always the best path. A 72-year-old man, for example, suffered from frequent throat infections. After he began supplementing zinc and vitamin C, not only did the crises cease, but he also noticed improvements in sleep and mood. That's because zinc also influences the metabolism of hormones and neurotransmitters. In other words, it's a discrete but multifunctional mineral. And the best part, it's cheap, accessible, and effective. Another curious detail is that zinc also helps protect the lungs, an important point for elderly people who have already experienced bronchitis, emphysema, or who smoked for many years. It reduces inflammation in the bronchi and speeds up recovery after respiratory infections. Along with good hydration and light breathing exercises, it can be a powerful combination for aging with stronger lungs and fewer hospital visits. Now that you've seen how zinc is a silent hero of immunity, imagine if there were a vitamin capable of protecting the entire body at once: bones, heart, muscles, and nervous system, bringing more stability and longevity with a single daily gesture. It exists, and it's one of the most complete that science has ever recognized. Omega-3 is like that faithful friend who takes care of you in silence, without making a fuss. It acts in practically all areas of the body, but it stands out especially in cardiovascular, brain, and immune health, exactly the pillars that most need attention in old age. At 60 years or older, the presence of this essential fatty acid makes a real difference in daily life. It improves circulation, protects neurons, and reduces chronic inflammation that punishes the aging body so much. Many studies have already confirmed that omega-3 helps reduce levels of triglycerides and bad cholesterol, LDL, while increasing good cholesterol, HDL. This reduces the risk of heart attack, stroke, and other heart complications. In addition, it keeps blood vessels more flexible and prevents the formation of clots, which is crucial for elderly people who spend a lot of time sitting or have reduced mobility. A protected heart means more energy and less fear of sudden crises. In the brain, omega-3 is even more valuable. It is part of the structure of neurons, facilitates communication between brain cells, and helps preserve memory. Elderly individuals who consume omega-3 regularly tend to have a lower risk of developing Alzheimer's or other dementias. And the effect does not take long to appear. Many report improved concentration, mood, and even sleep quality. It's as if the mind regains sharpness, clarity, and agility. In terms of immunity, omega-3 acts as an intelligent regulator. It reduces silent inflammation in the body, which is often at the root of autoimmune diseases and recurrent infections. Additionally, it improves the function of defense cells, making the body more prepared to face viruses, bacteria, and other aggressors. With it, the body not only reacts more quickly to threats but also recovers better after an illness. Natural sources of omega-3 include fish such as salmon, sardines, and tuna, as well as chia seeds, flaxseed, and walnuts. But it's not always easy to consume these options frequently, whether due to taste, cost, or practicality. That's why supplementation is an excellent alternative, especially the versions with high concentrations of EPA and DHA. Ideally, choose purified capsules that ensure safety and maximum absorption. A good practical example is to include an omega-3 capsule right after breakfast. This facilitates absorption and avoids the stomach discomfort that some people report when taking the supplement on an empty stomach. And more, by combining omega-3 with a diet rich in vegetables, fruits, and lean proteins, the protective effect is enhanced. It's a simple investment with guaranteed returns for your health. It's worth remembering that omega-3 can also relieve joint pain, which is very common in elderly people with osteoarthritis or joint inflammation. It acts as a natural anti-inflammatory without the side effects of traditional medications. With continuous use, it's possible to notice less stiffness upon waking, more mobility, and even more willingness to take walks, a precious habit in old age. And what if you could gather all these benefits into a single daily routine? The answer lies in learning more deeply how to create a natural health plan based on these 8 vitamins and supplements. The journey begins with a simple step, but it can change your entire longevity story. Aging with health is not luck, it's strategy. Many common problems after 60, such as fatigue, infections, and loss of energy, are linked to deficiencies in essential vitamins. Supplementing correctly can transform your immunity, energy, and quality of life. You don't need to change everything at once. Start with one vitamin, observe the effects, and make adjustments as needed. Your health affects not only you, but everyone around you. Taking care of yourself is an act of love and responsibility. Share your experience, inspire other elderly people, and keep learning. Leave in the comments which of these vitamins you already use or plan to start using. Your opinion can help others too. If this content helped you, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and stay tuned for more practical, accessible, and transformative tips to live well after 60. Because your best phase can start now.